You've seen religious wars, dogmatic walls, faiths at each other's throats. Yet Buddhism stands apart, welcoming, not condemning, other paths to truth. How can a tradition built on no self also cultivate a boundless respect for every faith? Is it naive tolerance, or a profound insight into the nature of belief itself? I'm Silent Flame. In this 8-part exploration, we'll uncover the secret behind Buddhism's radical openness, revealing lessons for a world torn by division. In Zen, we speak of the gateless gate, the paradox that freedom has no boundaries. This image captures Buddhism's attitude toward other religions. No barriers, no claims of exclusivity. Origins of the gateless gate, attributed to the 6th patriarch, Hui Neng, popularized in the Mumonkan collection. Gateless because the moment you seek a gate, you're already caught in duality, inside versus outside. Applied to faith Buddhism, doesn't erect walls labeled true doctrine. It invites every seeker to step through their own understanding. Other religions become fellow travelers, not rivals, each offering a unique doorway into the mystery of existence. Modern implications, interfaith dialogues in monasteries and retreat centers reflect this stance. Christians, Muslims, Hindus, and Buddhists meditate side by side. The focus shifts from proving one path to deepening one's own insight by honoring another's practice. When there is no gate, every path is your path. If your heart meets it with sincerity. Long before interfaith councils, the Buddha walked India's pilgrimage roads, meeting Jain mendicants, Vedic Brahmins, and ascetics of every stripe, each encounter a lesson in universality. Debate with Nagana Machidia, a Jain teacher, challenged the Buddha on nonviolence and austerity. Rather than reject Jain ethics, the Buddha praised its compassion, but cautioned against extreme mortification. His reply, true restraint flows from wisdom of the middle way, not from self-torture. Yet he honored the Jain vow to harm no living being. Dialogue with Brahmaputra. In Kosala, a learned Brahmin, Brahmaputra, quizzed him on the authority of the Vedas. The Buddha responded by citing the Four Noble Truths as a living scripture written in the body of suffering. He never dismissed Vedic law, but reframed it. The eternal truths reside in direct experience, not in dogma or ritual. Sharing the path with Ajivika wanderers. Ajivikas preached fatalistic determinism. All is predetermined. The Buddha accepted their focus on causality, then introduced karma as intentional action shaping future conditions. Rather than conflict, he integrated their insights into his broader vision of dependent origination, weaving diverse strands into a coherent tapestry, adopting and transcending local rituals, observing the common practice of water libations to deities. He adapted the gesture, pouring water as an offering to one's own ethical commitments rather than to external gods. In doing so, he validated cultural forms while redirecting their power inward, transforming outward rites into inner resolve. Each dialogue was neither conquest nor capitulation, but a translation, rendering local wisdom in the universal language of awakening. Just weeks after the Buddha's passing, 500 arahants gathered in Rajagaha, not to draw doctrinal battle lines, but to preserve plurality within the Sangha. Purpose and context. Convened under King Ajatashatru's patronage, the council aimed to compile the Dhamma and Vinaya, but it also grappled with diversity, different dialects, varied monastic practices, and regional customs. Rather than enforce uniformity, the assembly agreed on a principle: Core teachings remain intact, but local ritual variations may persist so long as they don't contradict liberation. Tolerance of minor practices. Examples: some elders practiced Dhutanga austerities, e.g., eating 1 meal a day. Others adopted gentler observances. Both were sanctioned. Monks in Kosala recited suttas with local melodic cadences. Those in Magadha used distinct intonations. No one was censured. The council codified. Different methods suit different temperaments. Let each monk follow that which leads closest to the Dhamma, safeguarding the middle way. While embracing variety, the council drew a clear line against extremes that threatened ethical integrity, e.g., self-harm, abandonment of precepts. This balance, welcoming diversity without dissolving the path, set a template for interfaith openness. Accept differences, reject harm. The first council taught us that unity need not erase diversity. True harmony respects the many petals of the same lotus. A century later in Vesali, 700 monks convened to address disputes over discipline, and inadvertently affirmed pluralism once more. The spark of dispute reports surfaced of laxity. Some monastics mixed local deity offerings into alms rounds, while others insisted on purist alms-only practice. Accusations flew. You endanger the Vinaya versus you disregard compassion for local culture. Council of consensus. Rather than excommunicate entire factions, the council adjudicated case by case, permitting offerings of food at shrine entrances, so long as monks ate only what lay within their bowl, allowing lay devotees to invoke protective deities in devotional chants, provided recitations didn't supplant sutta study. Their verdict: syncretism that uplifts faith and causes no harm is allowable. Practices that contradict key precepts are not. Legacy of flexibility. This approach prevented a schism and encouraged adaptation. Buddhism could integrate local gods as protectors, dharmapalas, without confusing them with the three jewels. It echoed the Buddha's own method of transforming forms, redirecting outward rituals into inner dharma commitment. The Second Council showed that true pluralism holds the center firm while letting the periphery dance in cultural color. In medieval Japan, Zen masters encountered Shintō kami, local spirits of mountains and rivers, and rather than reject them, wove them into the fabric of Zen practice. Dogen and the shrine at Aihaiji-zen, founder Dogen built his monastery beside a Shintō shrine. He declared the kami manifestations of Buddha nature, inviting practitioners to bow to both altar and Buddha image. Offerings of rice and salt at dawn became part of the morning service, affirming that all life, visible and invisible, is sacred. Rinzai lineages and forest deities. Rinzai temples in Kyoto incorporated local forest deities as Chinju protectors. Statues of Jizo placed at gate entrances to guard the Dharma. Rituals blending fire purifications, like Goma, with Zazen sittings demonstrated that purification of mind parallels purification of land. Tokugawa era, Syncretism. Under the Tokugawa shogunate, Zen priests mediated disputes by appealing to Kami Buddha harmony, endorsing the slogan Honji Suijaku, Buddha as original, Kami as manifestation. This model prevented religious conflict. Villages worshipped local Kami at festivals while monks offered sutras in return. In Tibet, Vajrayāna Buddhism met the ancient Bon tradition, spirits of the land, sky, and ancestors, and transformed them into Dharma protectors without erasing their indigenous roots. Padmasambhava's oath. The 8th century master Padmasambhava bound local Bon deities with vows, converting them into Dharmapalas, guardians of the teachings. Each oath ceremony involved visualizing the deity's wrathful form, then offering mandalas to transform fear into devotion. Chod and hungry ghosts. The Chod practice, a Vajrayāna ritual of cutting through ego, includes offerings to pretas, hungry spirits from Bon law, inviting them to feast on the practitioner's compassion. This integration shows respect for ancestral traditions, while deepening the bodhisattva vow to liberate all beings, even the unseen. Living temples of harmony. Modern Tibetan monasteries maintain separate shrines for Bon priests and Buddhist lamas, hosting joint ceremonies during New Year, celebrating both sky gods and Buddhas. This model inspires contemporary interfaith retreats that honor indigenous wisdom alongside global teachings. Across Thailand, Myanmar, and Vietnam, Buddhism coexists with Islam, Christianity, and indigenous animism, engaging communities in shared social action rather than theological debate. Disaster relief as Dharma. In Aceh, Buddhist and Muslim monks formed a joint relief brigade after the 2004 tsunami, serving side by side regardless of creed. Their shared uniforms bore the Dharma wheel and Islamic star together, a living emblem of compassion without borders. Interfaith schools in Chiang Mai, Lanna, Buddhist temples in northern Thailand sponsor schools where Christian and Buddhist children learn together. Morning chants alternate verses from both the Bible and the Dhammapada. This daily ritual fosters mutual respect and dissolves prejudices before they can harden. Animist roots and monastic outreach. In rural Myanmar, monks incorporate local animist rites, offering cloth to nats, spirits, at village festivals, then dedicate merit to all beings, blending ritual care with universal compassion. Their monastery radio programs feature Buddhist teachings alongside interviews with Christian pastors and animist elders. In Southeast Asia, pluralism isn't an academic concept. It's the lived reality of Dharma in motion, where service to others trumps sectarian lines. In modern Western centers, Zen and Vajrayāna traditions host interfaith retreats, welcoming Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, and atheists under one Sangha roof, transforming dialogue into shared awakening. Green Gulch Farm, Zen Center, California. Founded with principles of engaged Buddhism, they invite guests of all faiths to participate in zazen, chanting, and farm work, emphasizing direct experience over doctrinal purity. Seasonal interfaith gatherings feature Eucharist alongside silent meditation, and Dharma talks interwoven with Christian contemplative readings. Diamond Way Buddhism, Global. Lay Vajrayāna Sanghas, established by Lama Ole Nidal, integrate Buddhist practice with Christian prayer services in Europe and North America. Retreat schedules alternate Guru Yoga with lecture readings from the Bible, fostering reciprocal respect. Participants learn mantra as others learn hymn. Rainbow Sangha networks. LGBTQ affirming Buddhist communities host multi-faith vigils and satsangs, blending chanting, prayer, and silent sitting. Guests share personal practices. A rabbi chants Psalm 23. A Muslim imam leads dhikr. A Zen Roshi guides silent koan introspection, all within one retreat. Outcomes and challenges. Participants report deepened compassion and reduced doctrinal defensiveness. Many describe the retreat as a taste of pure Sangha, free from us versus them. Challenges arise, reconciling differing dietary dictates, prayer schedules, and ritual protocols. But success shows that sincerity outweighs uniformity. When the Zendo becomes a cathedral, and the Gompa welcomes church bells, we glimpse the true spirit of Sangha, heart united, forms diverse. Increasingly, Western monasteries open their cloisters to both Christian and Buddhist monks, sharing cells, schedules, and sacred silence in a remarkable experiment of hospitality. Tibetan Catholic monastery in France, a former Trappist abbey, now hosts Tibetan Rinzai and Catholic Benedictine monks side by side. They observe joint periods of vigila and zazen, punctuated by shared meals in complete silence. Every sunrise, bells toll for lauds and the morning gong, each tradition responding in its chant. Yet the hour of mindfulness is one and the same. Franciscan Zen Priory in California. Franciscan friars and Soto Zen practitioners cohabit in a converted ranch. Work practice blends ora et labora, pray and work, with samadhi, tilling the fields, repairing fences, and bowing together at dusk. The friars attend Dharma talks. Zen monks join evening vespers, discovering common ground in chants of Salve Regina and four-line gathas, shared vows and adapted precepts. Residents observe a hybrid code. The Christian vow of poverty and the Buddhist vow of non-harm are combined to a single rulebook emphasizing simplicity, community service, and interdependence. This fusion extends to monastic attire, robes of neutral hue, neither saffron nor black, symbolizing the middle way between cloister and zendo. When monks of two ancient lineages share the same cell, the walls between faiths crumble, and hospitality becomes a mirror of the gateless gate. Music and chant in these interfaith communities no longer belong exclusively to one tradition. They become vessels of shared devotion, hybrid chants. At the Franco-Tibetan monastery, evening prayer blends Gregorian antiphons with Tibetan tsatings, each line beginning in Latin, concluding in Pali, weaving two worlds in sonic union. Instrumental dialogues, bells and Makugyo fish drum alternate in the prayer hall, the toll of the bell marking the Angelus, the soft thump guiding walking meditation, their rhythms dialoguing rather than competing. New hymns and gathas. Monks composed original hymns incorporating Christian themes, O Bread of Heaven, set to pentatonic scales reminiscent of Heart Sutra recitation, creating an atmosphere both familiar and fresh. Community concerts quarterly. Sangha concerts invite local congregations to experience joint liturgies, hymns, mantras, and instrumental ensembles, demonstrating that sacred sound transcends doctrinal lines. In the fusion of chant and drum, we hear one song of awakening, note by note, dissolving the boundary between creed and compassion. In monasteries from France to Thailand, radical hospitality blossoms into social action, showing that pluralism isn't just theological tolerance, but a catalyst for collective compassion. European monastic alliances, Taizé Community, France. Founded by Brother Roger, a Protestant, it welcomes Christian denominations, Buddhists, and seekers of all backgrounds into communal prayer and service. Their shared silence and daily chores forge bonds beyond creed. Tibetan Orthodox Dialogue, Greece. Joint outreach programs in refugee camps see Tibetan lamas and Greek Orthodox priests distributing aid, offering food, shelter, and spiritual solace side by side. Asian models of interfaith. Sangha Bangkok Peace Foundation. Buddhist monks, Muslim imams, and Christian pastors co-organize peace walks and disaster relief drills, training youth in nonviolent action that draws on all traditions. Vietnamese pagoda churches. In rural provinces, pagodas host Sunday services and Vedic celebrations, signaling that Buddha and Christ share the same house of compassion. community solidarity in practice. Shared clinics, staffed by medics from different faiths, teach mindfulness alongside medical care. Practitioners offer guided meditation before surgery and chaplain services after trauma. Interfaith agricultural co-ops plant peace gardens, blossoming lotus and olive trees side by side to nourish both body and spirit, demonstrating that faith-based collaboration feeds communities. Implications for civic life. These models inspire faiths-united coalitions in cities, coordinating food banks, housing projects, and environmental cleanups, where religious difference becomes a resource, not a barrier. Radical hospitality shows that when traditions share purpose, they amplify compassion. Your faith in action is my faith in action. From cloister to clinic, from garden to gathering, pluralism transforms church versus temple into we, a living testament to the gateless gate in motion. We began at the gateless gate, where no boundary bars the heart's passage. We traced the Buddha's footsteps through debates and council, saw Zen and Vajrayāna weave local spirits into protectors, and witnessed modern sanghas that kneel together before many altars. We walked cloisters shared by Catholic and Buddhist monks, heard chants stitched from Latin and Pali, and joined hands in service from Europe's plains to Southeast Asia's villages. Now, let these stories settle in your own silence. Notice how each path you honor is but a finger pointing to the moon of compassion. Notice how every ritual you practice, be it bowing to a kami, ringing the church bell, or offering a mandala, mirrors the same longing to awaken the heart beyond labels. There is no final gate to cross, no creed to conquer, no ritual to complete. The Dharma of hospitality lives in invisible gestures, a shared bowl of rice, a silent nod of respect, a candle lit for another's sorrow. I am silent flame. Carry this word not as doctrine, but as invitation, an open door in every heart. In the hospitality of awakening, all faiths find one another. In the silence beyond words, we meet as seekers, each step a gift, each breath a vow of compassion.